Hey guys, only a few games left of the Stanley Cup Finals.
2-5.
2-5. Maybe even less at this point, depending upon when you're watching it.
Right.
We recorded this on a Monday. But hey, I just want to throw this out here. If you want to get in on the action before the game starts, live and play, how your favorite player performs, doing it right since 1997. You know Sports Interaction is Canada's sportsbook. Join now to see that all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That is sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, and please play responsibly. So that's actually a great segue. Pierre-Luc Dubois. And this was broken by Elliot Friedman. Murat Ates in Winnipeg does a great breakdown of this for The Athletic, as he always does. Pierre-Luc Dubois has said to the Jets, I'm going to test free agency in 24. And I thought it was interesting that he did it this early.
Yeah. I don't know if you've all looked at your calendars recently.
What year is it?
It is 2022.
How long ago is how long before the summer of 2024 hits?
2 years. It's a super weird thing to say, man. It's tantamount to a trade request.
I don't even know, and I don't know what the rules are on this specifically. I thought it had to be 1 year out before you even began the discussions on an extension.
Yeah, he's not eligible to sign a new deal.
Well, then maybe you can talk about it, but you can't sign it.
Yeah, but I'm sure people break that all the time, and they probably say things like, so... in theory.
Like, what would in theory that look like? Allegedly.
What are you thinking? How do you like it here? Etc. It kind of makes it worse. Like, imagine the Jets didn't just straight up ask, so what do you want to re-sign with us in 2 years? Hey, what are your weekend plans? Well, I'm not going to re-sign here in 2 years. And can you imagine? Man, that's a really tough one for Winnipeg because he was pretty good. That's a good player, man. Like, he got his career back on track, and maybe
he had a great year. This season was a big disappointment for the Jets, as Murat puts into the article here. But I'm curious about this in the sense that
him under Barry Trotz, I think, is an amazing fit.
Yes, and so, like, especially, and Scheifele under Barry Trotz would be fucking hilarious.
Well,
but I think Scheifele's
might offset that.
I think Scheifele's on his way out.
I think he is out too.
But what I want to ask here is this a negotiation ploy? Because I know
it's a year out from being a negotiation.
But that's what I mean. Is that are you able to? And this is just a thought. But are you able to by putting that line in the sand? It's almost like there was the guy that this is going to be a very Adam Wild thing to say. But there's a type of negotiation called brinksmanship. And it was labeled after the Soviet leader who took over for Stalin. And here's how he would start a negotiation.
Who doesn't love Adam?
Here's what he would do. He'd sit at the negotiating table and essentially say, I'm going to fucking nuke you. So give me what I want. That's where he'd start. Most people start the negotiation, well, if this, then this, then this, then this. There's nukes in the future. He goes, I'm pressing the button. So what are we going to do here?
Right.
And I wondered if this wasn't the brinksmanship thing. This is where we stand now. Your job, Winnipeg Jets, is to turn your shit around, put a good franchise on show Pierre-Luc Dubois, your new number one center after Scheifele goes, that this franchise is worth sticking around for long term, and then we'll talk.
Here's I think the key for Winnipeg Jets fans and management. Do not take anything that comes out of Winnipeg right now too seriously.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick had a great conversation on 32 Thoughts. This was months ago about the Winnipeg Jets and the situation there. Some teams, it seems obvious, had a particularly tough time of it with COVID.
Sure.
Not necessarily getting it or, having to overcome it.
Lockdowns, things like that.
The lockdowns. Yeah, some teams had a particularly tough time of it. Look at Calgary last year versus this year, right? And they don't like each other, and we're going to trade our second best forward, and it didn't make any sense. Winnipeg hasn't had the success, and there seems to be some friction in the room, and there are a lot of question marks, in particular with the head coach. So I wouldn't take anything that's said too seriously because I think there's a lot of grumpy feelings there and guys who want to be traded, guys who want to stay but think they might be traded, guys who think their teammate might be traded and they don't want to have to deal with that. And I think things still need to cool down a little there.
Part of me wondered too, because he was essentially forced into signing, because he's an RFA. He's essentially forced into signing that deal, that 2-year deal with the Blue Jackets with Jarmo Kekalainen. You remember that?
So weird.
He was like, he's like, I don't want to be here. Or I do want to be here. Now I don't want to be here. And then he signs the 2-year, $10 million contract, right? So he's an RFA this year.
He got $5 million?
$5 million a year.
Good for him.
I'm wondering if he just doesn't want to be strong-armed into a deal he didn't want to sign again.
Possibly.
Because Muir puts together like a list here. And, like this could go to arbitration. Somebody could come in and they could offer sheet him. He could sign long-term in Winnipeg this season. Although you have to think he probably wants a short-term deal now and then long-term deal later. Or he gets traded.
I think it's a trade request. Personally.
Do you actually think that's what's going to happen?
Because they don't have to.
They gave up Laine and Roslovic for him.
Oh, I know. No, this to me seems like a guy with no leverage trying to find it, and it's not there. Like, because the hockey world isn't reacting like, whoa, something's about to happen. We're all like, that's weird of you to do there, Pierre. Wait, like, we don't, it seems like a strange thing to do because it is. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
No, he's 2 years left on restricted free agency. I'm sorry, I should have made that point, is that he is an RFA right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I made that mistake too. I was like, wait a second. And then, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought everyone...
So that's the crazy part. I made that mistake too. And then I looked it up. He's got, his deal is done.
Oh,
yeah. I thought he was
too. That's what was so weird about it. So I guess it's sort of like,
oh, well, then it is a negotiation tactic.
it's literally two.
Oh, yeah. So he's negotiating a deal right now, to clarify the story.
I suppose.
Mikko Lehtinen!
I should have looked that up. I don't know why. I thought it was on a 3-year deal for some reason, or a 4-year deal or something. But
I don't know. No, because I remember reading about this and seeing people saying, but he has 2 years left. That's stupid.
2 years of control. I guess is what we're...
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, this is different. So he's an RFA right now.
Mm-hmm. And he's saying, I'm not signing long term.
I think you just trade him.
Do you trade him?
He can put in a trade request. He's a RFA.
You're already going to trade Scheif.
Well, at least he's being honest about what he wants. He doesn't want to, I don't think he wants to be here long term, or the Jets have made him an offer and it's poor.
Yeah.
I think that's likely the case too.
Right? Like, oh yeah, we're going to get him on a discount long term.
No.
So who knows? Maybe he was offered 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but it's roughly around what he's currently making.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that dude is a prospective 30 goal scorer in this league. Hard-nosed center, plays a good two-way game. Yeah, no, like that dude, he shouldn't really want to sign long-term unless he gets his number.
Yeah.
How many centers like that are available? And when they hit UFA, they all make $7 million plus.
Yep.
Yeah, no, if he's not getting his number, he should hold out.
Yeah, and
so it's not a weird tactic at all.
Especially because of the franchise and like their state right now and what's happened over the last year. It seems to be this franchise that's spiraling out of control, but for Winnipeg Jets fans, they should be very happy about all of the pieces they have, because this can be a very quick turnaround if management does the right stuff. Kevin Shoveldayoff does the right stuff with the team. But like I know this week, Frank Saravalli added Blake Wheeler to his trade bait board, potential trade targets. So that adds like Scheifele, Wheeler, Dubois, like they could all be out the door.
I think it's time for Scheifele and Wheeler.
Yeah,
I think it's time.
It's like using a kettlebell as bait, though. Like, I don't know who's trading for that contract.
Right. So there's a lot of options here for Winnipeg, and if PLD looks at the situation, he's just like, if you're not offering me a shit ton of money, I don't really want to play in Winnipeg with this franchise. I don't know the state of it come September. So we'll see what Kevy does and with the team, but I don't know.
I don't like that.
Kevy Chevy.
Yeah, it's Shoveldayoff, so it's Kevy.